Speaking of technical brilliance, let's set up the next heat. Look at this one. Third quarter, the World Champ Simmers taking on the rookie Bella Kenworthy. A couple of surfers who, a few short years ago, part of it has been a recurring theme that we talked about, the rookies on tour. In this event, early in the season for them, doesn't feel like you got that gap in terms of trying to climb and reach the standard being set by the established order. Here goes Bella, strapping on that back knee. That's actually something that she sustained right here a couple of months ago, but she said she's back to full health. That's really just to offer her a bit more comfort, kind of mental support as much as the physical. Looking all right so far from the tube section. She'll rip one down, carving the snap into the lip, and again putting a bit more oomph into this maneuver, mixing up the line into the tube. Kenworthy getting cover. Bowl on the ends. Another layback with a ton of spray. She'll hit the lip again for a finish. Bella Kenworthy, her opening run on the right. First of all, it's complete. We saw some tube riding. We saw a bit of variety as well, a bit of power.
Yep, I liked it. I just applying that same sort of method as what Vahine was. Just get the finish, get the completion, and start applying that pressure early on. I mean, sort of funny, you know, you think maybe the higher seed has the advantage, you know, seeing what they need as a requirement. But, you know, as this event plays out, I almost think it's the person that's going first that Sebi doesn't have that pressure on them. So let's see here. I mean, she gets a series of maneuvers done. A lot of progression as well. Gets those fins above the lip. And then nice amount of tube time here. This second performance section I really liked because big variety of maneuvers here. Jams it in the pocket. She gets a layback here coming up as well. So nice combination of maneuvers, giving us some variation to look at. And I think there's still room for her to move as well. So still a measured approach, knowing that she's got another shot at the right. Yeah, for sure. I think it just eliminates that downtime of waiting for it to happen. She's not waiting for it. She's just adapting to that section. As we see Bella taking off on her first left.
Spot in the second semi is available to one of the two surfers in this quarter. Here's the rookie Kenworthy on her backhands, pumping for speed, not opting for the barrel, and using that steep face to get good maneuvers done, dropping down. Now this one will cup out. How does she go here? Just adjusting on a real steep face. Another hit from her. Plenty of spray being displaced, but patience here to set up. She'll get cover, let go of the rail. Don't think we've seen many successful no grabs in terms of that backhand tube, and ultimately can't come out.
Yeah, maybe she just missed the rail a little bit. We'll be able to see when we have a look at the slow-mo, but yeah, you definitely need to be holding that rail, getting super compressed, but there was some definite damage done on the outside. Just seems like with every turn she was just gaining confidence, and they were just sort of getting bigger and more precise down the line. So just looking really whippy off the top here. That turns so much more powerful. And then, yeah, decides here, I'm going to miss this barrel section. Utilizes that steep section of the wave up into the lip twice there. And here we go. She's setting up for this inside barrel section. Let's see what she gets done. So just sort of stomping on the brakes here, goes for the grab, sort of misses. Yeah, I thought that's probably what happened. So, and then straight up and over. That end section is definitely not forgiving. So you'll really be able to see here. Goes for the grab, sort of misses there, and then tries to regain. Gets a little bit lipped in the head, so not as good as the right.
Not sure we're really seeing that from her. I think she's just kind of rolling with it, whether she was, you know, trying to make sure she stayed on tour by making the cut, or whether she is the world champ. We just get Caity Simmers in a natural artistic self, and it looks pretty good. Here she goes, opening run for her, kicking off on the right, little crumble to the lip line. She'll use that well. The last turn was inventive and creative. The barrel is deep, it's committed. Loads of cover, gets that secondary section as well. Middle section here, using the rail. Simmers, as ever, with great rhythm to things and looking really comfortable, so nothing's hurried or forced. She looks pretty relaxed. She's deeply tunneled in the second tube.
Wow.
Grab rail, carve the snap. Caity Simmers. She is going great out here thus far.
Wow, she's looking so good. There was so much variety there, and my favourite part of that wave was just her entry into that first barrel. We've seen a lot of people waiting for it and like preempting when it's going to happen, but the turn she did before the entry to the barrel set her up just to go straight into it. So let's have a look here. Gets a couple of turns underway, and it's that moment there that gets her position pretty deep, and then she just goes up and underneath. She's not waiting for it, which I really like, not using any of that downtime, and that in turn makes her so deep in that barrel. And then here in this moment, I mean, series of maneuvers, all different, lots of variety. Goes the big layback jam here and just perfectly sets up this inside tube for a really deep pit. So I'm thinking this is going to go pretty high. Gives us more variety on the inside with that trademark grab rail out the barrel. So really, really good things from Caity right now. I mean, Bella's got a pretty hard task ahead of her. Obviously, current world champ, and she's come out firing. Just so in control. And just looking steezy too, up, under there. Cool, calm, collected.
Unbelievably relaxed as well. We think about the criteria, and there's a lot of words in there. It's based obviously about the maneuvers that you're doing, but just your sort of overall impression, almost like an alternative criteria. Just looking really, really relaxed. I thought just felt this morning from people that I saw around about on the deck in the Red Bull Athlete Zone, they actually looked a little more relaxed today. And I think, to your point, that seems to be the fruits of just having more laps out here, more reps, getting to know the wave. Simmers on her left now. And an 8-9. I mean, what does that do? She already looked pretty languid and relaxed on her right. Ready with a huge score in. Getting in the tube here, Simmers will find cover. And then she'll bank a turn that's a setup. Steeper section. Goes to the lip, not hammering away through the mid part here, setting up for this tube. It gets tight and steep and runs pretty quick. Maybe just coming in with a touch too much speed, and as a result of thinking, all right, let's go to the air. Throw that down on the end of the wave. So definitely quite as good in terms of the number that will come for that in terms of the left, but just the way she's approaching this and how relaxed she is. She looks real dangerous flick. It's time to go to a break here on finals day. The world champ is in the water. She's dropped the biggest number of the event so far. More live action from Surf Abu Dhabi right after this.
This yesterday, when you wear a brace on one knee, it sometimes affects the other leg too, and so now we'll see how it affects her here on a really critical right.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. She needs to get going here under a little bit of pressure after the first run. Starting well on this one already, though. Just already looking a bit more in flow from the early work and the way she got into the tube there. Now loading up into the lip and throwing some tail, plenty of spray and power. That layback maneuver that she does, bit of a signature move, and she does it well. And the tube section again will prove tough. She had to stall, she had to get deep there. Wasn't trying to pack in and overdo it in terms of the maneuvers, so thought I need to go deep, and a consequence of that is she goes down flick.
Yeah, she definitely turned it up a few notches, though, I will say that. Like, you could tell by from the moment she took off. I mean, she was looking more feisty, more fired up, a bit more oomph in the turns, laying the board a bit more on rail, a bit more risk, and you can see even just a bit more longevity in this barrel. And she comes out of this section and, yeah, just laying it on rail. It looked like she had all the right, sort of feel for breaking this combination. Big layback hack there. I mean, that was super critical, real risky. Just getting a little bit, maybe stalling a little bit too much before entering that last barrel section.
And she needs to go with a huge number here. This would have to be the second high score of the day, at least. And of course, we've still got another run to come from Caity Simmers. Bella Kenworthy into it here. The blue wall will stretch out. There'll be maneuvers before the first hollow section. Let's see how her approach goes in terms of trying to get tube. She'll sweep a really nice dynamic maneuver and then set up and just run past this first tube section. So going to the turns on that backhand. Super committed in the pocket. Again, she'll hang that one up. Very nicely done indeed. This is really elite backhand surfing from Bella Kenworthy. So maneuvers were sharp. Now the barrel, and it won't happen for her.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be happening. I mean, really though, those backhand hits, they were super crisp. They were really powerful. I mean, she's going to be stoked with that performance. She did go really hard, but you know, you think back to Caity's 8-9, you think back to Vahine's, you know, they both had those couple of barrel sections. This isn't going to be it, but she can hold her head high because that was some amazing backhand surfing that we just saw from Bella, just going super vertical and critical in the pocket. Super impressed by what I saw here. And then just hasn't quite figured out this end section here, this last tube. Just getting a bit lipped in the head there, but as a rookie, like you said, Paul, quarterfinal finish, not bad.
A lot more incredible surfing to come from her. I mean, this kind of technique is so dynamic and cutting edge. I mean, these turns can't arrive any later than that.
No. She basically turned that into a sort of escape maneuver just by grinding across that lip of that wave. Super impressed by that backhand surfing by Bella.
Surfer's Deck, where we see those insights from coaches, does certainly feel like some of those more successful tips and insights are really just about enjoying it and relaxing. Easier said than done, and easier said than done for most. When you're the world champ and you Caity Simmers, interesting approach here, full-blooded roundy all the way back. So going for the fence, as we'll check this out from the Surf Abu Dhabi flight cam. We haven't seen anyone just pick up blistering speed, go for the channel, and then try and swoop one all the way back. There's that creativity and that original line that we love from Caity.
Yeah, for me, Caity has probably one of the best roundhouse cutbacks on the women's tour. Even you think about the men's, but she's just so... Let's have a look at how much distance she travels just so she can make this roundhouse. I mean, super close to the fence there. Gets the rebound. If she'd gotten that rebound, I think she would have been sweet, right? I mean, we haven't actually seen someone try this, so just getting super creative here. Touches that rail. Just beautiful style. I mean, this is textbook right here. Goes up, hits that rebound like a backhand entry, blows the fins out. And, hey, it's worth a try, right? That's just why we love Caity. We love that originality.
They don't want to go crazy with the 8s and the 9s early on in case someone's doing multiple rotations, big airs we haven't seen yet. All of that type of stuff. Here's the left for Simmers. Just look how confident she is, just cruising through. And then standing pretty tall, nothing rushed. Great form, impeccable style, and just the flow throughout this tube ride, getting deep, getting really deep. Great cover for Simmers. The high line just pumping for speed, really looking like she's free surfing at the moment here. And then the steeper tube section, she's compressed, comes out, goes up for the shove again. It'll just be a kick out maneuver. She's looking deadly.
Yeah, she's looking so cruisy, and it's just a good indication. I mean, obviously she'd already had the heat win, and knowing that gives you confidence, but you can just see it in her style, just a casual approach. It's nice to see this, these sort of different lines drawn, because we haven't really seen that yet. And yeah, to your point, Paul, really surfing it as if, it looks like she's just having fun, having a free surf, getting creative. It's probably one of the longest backhand barrels we've seen by the women. She really rides that foam ball really well. And then just cruising here. Changes that foot stance. Almost like she's riding a retro board, it's just really pleasing to the eye. And then goes for the shove it.
I mean, there's something for everyone there. Looking
so nice to watch.
Backhand down, carving, foot halfway up the board. I mean, even the high line pumps with nothing forced or hurried just makes it look so cool. Caity Simmers, in terms of coming into semis with extra confidence as if it was needed, she'll have tons of it. Serving a bit of notice as well. 8-9 That big number, biggest we've seen, and other than that, away from the numbers, just the sort of surfing. I think we saw maybe 4 or 5 maneuvers that no one's even got close to really attempting as she expresses herself on the wave here at Surf Abu Dhabi in the basin.